As some states across the country continue to experience flash floods from heavy rainfall, this week's edition of Eyewitness Report shines a spotlight on the impact of flooding on communities. Our focus is on Lagos, specifically in Ikorodu and Agboyiketu area. A warm welcome to Eyewitness Report. I am Yomi Otaigbe. For over 12 hours, beginning from Sunday night of August 3rd, Lagos residents endured one of this year's heaviest downpour, leading to widespread flooding in some communities. We followed up on some of the videos submitted by eyewitnesses to compile this report, capturing how residents are coping with the aftermath.
Òjò rèé o, gbogbo ọ̀dọ̀ mi rèé o. Omi ti wọnú ilé. Omi ti wọnú ilé, ó tún wó fẹ́ǹsì ṣẹ́ ti rí. Gbogbo fẹ́ǹsì tó wà níbi ẹ̀gbẹ́ ọ̀dọ̀ mi, omi ti ya gbogbo ẹ̀. Ẹ wo gbogbo inú ilé mi, omi ti wọlé.
In a viral video made rounds online, a woman's voice trembles with despair as she describes the relentless flood that invaded her home.
Ẹ wo bí omi ṣe wọ gbogbo inú ilé báyìí. Máa fídíò ẹ wo omi. Gbogbo aṣọ wa lómi ti bàjẹ́. Ẹ wo.
Another clip shows a mother and her daughter clinging to the ceiling of their roof, seeking refuge from the rising water. Over 12 hours of heavy rainfall across the city left residents grappling with the aftermath, their stories echoing the chaos faced by many. Dark clouds linger over Lagos as Channels Television ventures into the affected areas, 24 hours after the rain subsided. Although flood waters on the roads and streets have receded, many houses in Irawo are still submerged. Residents of Thomas Lanion CDA Estate Phase 2 and neighboring estates are still busy clearing water from their homes.
Wow.
One government to come and do something for us. Where this water is,
everything here is spoiled. All the properties, go and see my chair, everything there is spoiled.
These are my quarter pipes, all of them are gone together.
Yes, now.
Even I raise some plants up, the water cover up.
Yes, now.
So you soak the bag that put all of them inside. All of them gone together. Now see my chair here.
Tired. Since midnight, nobody can.
After this, and the water climb the trail.
Yes, now.
This is the place water.
Nobody can sleep for this house. Nobody.
This the level water climb the trail from on top of the same block. I've been in this apartment since 5 years. That was 2021. So this is the 5th year I'm living here. I have not experienced this kind of flood. The rain started on Sunday here, some minutes after 11. Gradually, I was even thinking that this one may not rain. But when it continued, it was then that I came out and put some bucket and watched my flat. I didn't experience any water. I came out again when it was 3:30 a.m. that Sunday night. And there was no water entering inside. I watched the kitchen, the bathroom, the outside here. But when I wake up in the morning after 6 to put leg down from the bed, my leg enter inside deep water. I shout, and there was no light because of the rain. The power was interrupted. So when I take touch, I see that everywhere, all kind of the flat is already submerged. And the water is going freely from inside to outside, they join together. You will not know that this is outside, this is inside, because they are of high level. So this is not flood that normally come every year. The flood we are experiencing now is as a result of the downfall and no exit for the water in the estate to move, unlike before. Now, the gutter that were constructed by the contractor engineers, the water was diverting from the gutter to the estate. It contributed to the magnitude of the water we experienced. Being that we are at the gate, this building and all of us that are living, especially downstairs, at the receiving end. We are the ones suffering it the most.
See my Bible.
This one.
See my Bible. You see it? You see it? There's nothing to be so again. I die everything.
No fit up now because I know even my children birth certificate.
See, that's why everything. Even my drugs, everything. My drugs, everything.
See, what is it coming out from?
It's still coming out. It's terrible.
It's coming from.
It's coming from the toilet. If you enter my.
They came and they will do something, Nothing. Look at it. Yeah, we voted. And we voted.
Please, all my properties are destroyed with water.
You cannot cook, you cannot do anything.
Nothing since yesterday. I've been breastfeeding mother boy. I cannot enter my house. Please, I got our rescue that since 12. Please, and yesterday I beg you come to our rescue.
Even with the deployment of a water pumping machine, little progress is evident.
We voted for the party in power. We voted massively.
We voted for someone needs to come to our rescue. Please help us. What are you carrying?
Can you tell us how long have you been pumping water from this company?
24 hours. If we don't pump it, you cannot stand here. There's another one using electricity. There. We simultaneously use the two. If not, how can you stay here?
Residents claim the overflow was worsened by the poor construction of an ongoing road project and drainage system by the local government.
While they were doing the job, we dialogue and we made them to understand that this is the terrain, this is how the water flows. That there used to be an underground channel that crossed water to the other side. And the question they were asking was, where is the water going? Well, we later asked them, the one you are doing, where is it going? So we expect that if you had allowed, fine, we quite appreciate the fact that they have brought development to the area, but it's rather unfortunate because they are very close to us at the third tier of the government. But we expect that they have listened, yeah, but they ought to have obliged to our plea by providing the cross-covered. After all, when you are going, there's a cross-covered down the road, which is taking water from this side to the other side. So why do you have to start something? And we advise them that the flow, if it keeps going, to get to somewhere, it will be very, very slow. But if there is a break, it will help in elevating the flow. But now, nothing was done. They kept promising. The drain, that is the main drain on Ikorodu Road, we expect that it should have been linked, whereby the flow will have two falls, one to the down, one to the other side. But we observe that the whole drain, instead of it going to the main drain, that is the main road, it was directed down, inward. So fortunate.
You've seen this. The time they were constructing the road, we've been here over 30 years. We know the terrain of the water. We sat with them. We told them where the water should go. They ignored us. They told us we should leave them to do their jobs. Okay. Some of the officials even name-tagged me. Baba, water will go. Some of them works in the ministry. I don't know which of the ministry. You see, at that junction, there should be a culvert there that will carry this water. The water comes from Owode, Lede, Idera, and the suburb here. This is just the channel with which it goes. And we told them the channel with which the water usually go. They ignore us. This is the rubbish they have done. We are calling for the autonomy of local government. This is the autonomy. The road is not even okay, nor the drainage. After this, we've written a letter to the council informing them of the nonsensical job they did. They came, they promised us, they will look into it, look at it. Where do we go from here? We want the government to look into this, especially Lagos State government. The Ministry of Environment should look into this shoddy job they did here. I don't know what that junction where you parked. They are supposed to be a standard culvert that cross over the road that will carry this water. We told them, we even took them round, which they promised they would do. But we don't know what really make them to ignore the promise they did to us. This is it. After that one, a rain fell and we went to them. Come and see. They sent their engineers. That was before they did their local government election. They came. They promised heaven and earth.
The situation in Irawo mirrors that of Okuokpe in Ijede, where residents of the new generation community were caught off guard as floodwaters ravaged their property and halted daily life.
Thank you.
Ayodeji Adeboye's experience summarizes the devastation. His home submerged, a section of his fence knocked down onto his car, and his windshield shattered.
Sorry. Suddenly, we just hear the collapse of the fence that destroyed my car, and then from that time, we experienced that the water got into the building, reaching up to my waist, and I took my wife and my children inside the water. We went to the safety place. Although before that, I called the rescue team. Very unfortunately for our rescue team, I called the rescue team. When they came here, they said that they don't have enough gadget to save some people. Everybody comes out and then take their little safety place. So I look at it that when we call the rescue team, I mean firefighters, rescue team, they now tell me that they don't have boat, they don't have this, they don't have that, because the level of the water is so much.
Watermarks on walls reveal just how high the waters reached during the initial surge.
I'm engineer Dr. Drojaye. I'm a deputy director with Federal Government of Nigeria. I work with the National Space Research and Development Agency. The experience wasn't palatable at all because the rain started around 11 p.m. in the night, and we thought it was going to subside.
but it kept on raining, kept on pouring and pouring all of a sudden, and the water level started rising. So within the twinkling of my eye, I just had a very big sound. When I just peeped outside, I noticed that my fence completely fell down, and the volume of water increased. It started coming into the house, up to the window level. Then within the fence, you can even see the fence. More than half of the fence is already covered. All my cars, you can see the 2 cars there, and they are very high cars, the 2 Jeeps, they are covered up to bonnet level. So it's not a palatable thing at all. You know the cost of putting things, especially the fence and other things. My generator, everything completely soaked. All my furniture, everything is in disarray. Actually, we've never experienced such before in this community. The highest you can see is maybe water coming into the compound to a certain, maybe to a knee level. But this one is just unprecedented. It has never occurred. Within about 16, 17 years I've been living in this community, water has never entered into my main building before.
Welcome back. As part of our continued coverage, we now take a closer look at how the Lagos state government responded to the situation in affected communities and what steps are being taken to mitigate future floods.
Okay.
It's clear that many homes lack proper surface water drains, and notably, the community lacks a stormwater drainage system that could have mitigated the overflow.
Well, you are thick. It's even iron that it's even
Where are they eat this morning?
So if you eat, definitely.
The one being facilitated by the area's representative at the Lagos State House of Assembly is still under construction.
I've been living in this vicinity for the past 14 years plus now, and we have never encountered this such flood. Though we used to have episodes of floods, and that was the reason why we actually cried out at some point, and our constituency leader, Honorable Ama, responded to our cry. He gave us this drainage, but initially, when the construction started, we saw a good impact with the few rains that fell between January and June. But to our greatest surprise, the one that fell Sunday into Monday was really, really heartbreaking. We had thought about having drainages in front of our houses, but something stopped us from doing that. It's an attempt we have made over the years. But we discovered that with the way the environment, our community is hilly at the beginning of the community and slopey here. If everybody from the beginning should have a drainage in front of their house, what we know is that we are not engineers. We cannot construct it to climb into the other communities, which means every water we channel, we end here. That is actually the reason why we didn't do the drainages, because it would have collected all the water within the community and bring it here, as this is the valley of the community. And we envisaged something like this could happen from doing that type of drainage. That's why we didn't do it initially. So we thought, at the response from our honorable, with this, we could now start channeling our drainages into it. But it's unfortunate. As you can see, the level of damage, the extent of damage within my community is beyond what we can comprehend. The house behind me, the owner of this house had to run into the roof of his house. He's a very tall man. By the time the water level inside his house got to his chest, and he was at home with just his daughter, they had to run into the ceiling of the house. The next house, we brought in firefighters as rescue to come and evacuate the widow inside that house. We also have one of our residents here who is also with partial stroke, but the firefighters couldn't get there because of the drainage here. We are really, really crying out for help. We need the government's help.
3 days after the flood, the Lagos state government dispatches officials to assess the damage, visiting key communities such as Okuokpe in Ijede and Igbogbo in Ikorodu. However, their presence is met with mixed reactions. Residents frustrated by what they see as routine visits that follow every heavy rain, yet little tangible action. Many point out that ongoing drainage projects are either abandoned or progressing too slowly, raising questions about the government's commitment to safeguarding communities.
The intensity of the rainfall that we had on Tuesday, it has a 50 years return period. That means you can only have that in every 50 years. So it's not something that you see often. It happens once in a while. You may never know when it will come, but it will certainly come. We have some that are 100 years, return period. So that's nature, and we are bound to be prepared for it. Climate change is real, and that is why we're all out to see that we come up with resilient infrastructures that can take up those challenges. The work here is still ongoing, is in progress. We've been to one fold, we are just here now, and to assess firstly, to convey Mr. Governor's message of sympathy with the people affected, the community, the properties, the lost, and all of that, to convey his message to them, that he's with them. He may not be here physically, but he's here with us through his mysteries and by spirit. And secondly, to assess the level of damages, the level of job completion, and what we can quickly put in place. You never can tell when this will happen again. It might be so far, it might be so close. So let us be prepared, and that's why we're here to assess the situation on ground. Obviously, you can see that the machines are there, firstly to address the immediate issues, the challenges, and thereafter we are going to speed up the project. As it is ongoing, we're going to speed it up. Then again, we want to come and have a lot of sensitization talk with the people around here. It's flood prone. We need to talk to them about the attitude, making sure that they don't encroach on the right of way of infrastructures, to make sure that they don't empty their waste in all of those drains, and not to see rain as a conveying agent or their own PSP. So once it rains, they don't have to come and start emptying their waste in the rain. It's an ill wind at the end of the day. It blows one any good. So what goes around comes around. If you pour it there, it's not really going to affect anybody other than you yourself.
We've been working right from where we commenced the construction works. Actually, we went to two different sites. There is one at One Fold, which is to decongest whatever we have around that, and then there is this one. Either before conceiving the project, I think one of the things we have to do actually is to thank both the local government chairman and the House of Assembly member, because they are the one that facilitated. But this point where we are used to be the lowest point in this area. I'm sure you must have seen the mark on the different one. Before we started anything, water used to get at least to the window level. So it is not as if yesterday was, or rather Tuesday was, though it was unprecedented in terms of volume of water that we see. However, what we are doing here is just to ensure that we capture the water right from the source, to make sure that in the next 6 months or thereabout, we should be able to come back here and say that we have been able to solve this. As I said, we are solving drainage issues block by block, incrementally. So we want to make sure that we will resolve this and then we move to the next stage. So in terms of work done, we see that the contractor is on site. What we will only tell him is to make sure that we have at least 3 gangs, so that while one is working at the downstream, one is working at midstream.
This is it.
Tako, come and pick it.
The state has visited some of the parts that is affecting the people of Ijede. As for the local governments, the other parts like Junction, that's the part that local governments are going to take care of, and we've started work on it yesterday to clear the drains that were blocked. So we'll just tell our people to please be calm and be patient with us. The governor is with us on this, and we look forward. Now that you are here, we are so sure that the ongoing drainage will expedite on the job that they are doing.
I'll say I'm grateful that at the prompt of the viral video, government came to, they gave a response, and a prompt one. I really appreciate that. I must say a big thank you. And I also want to thank the firefighters too that responded to us when we called them in the night during the rain to help us do evacuation of some of our elderly people within who were trapped in the house. So I look forward to execution of all the promises we've heard today, and we just hope for the best for our community.
Although no fatalities was reported, the flooding has been described as one of the worst in Ikorodu and Ikorodu. With forecasts predicting more rain in the coming days, anxiety grows. Communities are calling on Lagos state authorities to accelerate efforts, improve drainage infrastructure, and prevent future disasters.
Thank you for your contributions. That's a wrap on this edition of the program. I'll see you again, same time next week. I am Yomi Otaibe.